I went from being nicely green to very red today. What a tough day. Hey, fellow traders, it's Black Coffee Trader. It is Thursday, June the 12th. Time to do the daily recap. I've been done trading since about midday. It's about 3:30. Time to get to this recap. I was a little bit frustrated earlier today. I'm trying to stay out of the emotional side of trading, but today was rough. Today was really, really rough. As you can see, down 2,500, almost 2,600 on the funded accounts. Definitely hurts. It's very recoverable, but I just didn't want to have a day like this. So yeah, let's just dive in. Let's look at TradeZella. So here's today, 25.69, only 20% win rate. My average win to loss was really good. Average winner was 153. Average loser was 95 bucks. I had two winning trades today. I think it was two winners. For the one was like a 180 profit, and the other one was like 120-ish or something like that. I had a lot of small losing trades today, and just most of the trades didn't work. So unfortunately, we flipped back to red on the month. Not happy about that, but again, it's something we can come back from. Down 853. Hopefully we can bounce back tomorrow and not have a second red day here in a row. I don't like the fact that two of my red days here for the month so far are over 2,000, actually over 2,500. That's bad. I don't like that one bit. So we need to bounce back. And the very sad thing is, again, this morning after the first trade, I was up 180 bucks per account, so it was about $1,100 profit day. If I would have just walked away after the first trade, it's a $3,500 profit swing. So instead of being down 800 bucks, we'd be up. I forget where we were at from yesterday. We'd be up. I forget right now. I can't do math. 2,500 bucks maybe, or something like that. So anyway, tough day, and I did it to myself. It's just I made mistakes. I'm going to walk through those trades right now. I'm not going to take the time to go through every little trade. I don't think so. On the notes I made to TradeZella, I'm just going to walk through the trades, and then I may jump back and forth. So we start with the Dow Jones. On my trade plan today was, if we break this morning's session, we were down here below, and with the news and stuff happening, I said, man, if we get a break, a hold below yesterday's low of day, in other words, a break and retest. We broke it in the pre-market. If we retest that, I'm going to look to take that thing short. And we got that trade pretty much right at the open, and I just immediately shorted it on the move down. And like I said, nearly $200 profit. And why I didn't walk away right there is beyond me. I was up 200 or 180 across all these accounts and across all my evals. My evals are horrific. I had a very, very bad day on evals. Down about 1,100 per account, because I did try to take a couple more trades, and it didn't work out. So we'll get there. So that was trade one. Great trade. Should have walked away. Trade two was this retest, break and retest long idea off the 863s. And again, this was right around the 945 area. And we had this nasty little chop, and we pulled back down. I didn't like this trade when it pulled back, and I just killed it. Got out of there a little bit early maybe, but I didn't have enough bandwidth here, drawdown to hold through. I would have gotten stopped out for a full 150. So I was okay with that, just stopping out, because I didn't like the way it was reversing. I then jumped into this trade, and this was the big mistake of today. I took this long, and this was also part of my plan. If we break above the 60-20, I don't remember if I have it marked or not. Yes, if it break above that 60-20, I would be looking for a break and retest long. Well, we got it. And what I failed to do was I got in a little bit on the aggressive side maybe. And on this push down, my stop was sitting somewhere right here at the bottom of this little yellow circle. And on this aggressive candle down at 940 or 956, that's the candle that actually, this one right here, it was a nasty candle on the NQ, also a nasty candle on the S, but a rapidly moving candle. And I was afraid of this thing just completely falling apart. And I just killed it. I killed the trade really quickly, lost 80 bucks on the trade. I could have survived. We go back up, and we got an absolutely beautiful move, and that was the move I wanted. Had I gotten that, we would have been out of here with at least 300, maybe 350 in profit per account. Even with the NQ loss, we'd have been 3 trades in, up 350 probably, and I would have walked away. So very, very sad. Had the trade correct, but killed the trade too quickly. That is why I put that note there, why I circled this, and why I marked this chart up. I'm going to keep that, because I had the plan correct. I had everything right except for my management. The management of the trade, it just simply, that candle just got me. I was afraid of this thing just, falling apart. And yeah, it is what it is. But I made a mistake there. And then I just proceeded to see death by 1,000 cuts. I then shorted this little rejection of the 60/40s. This looked very much like a rejection play at the time. We had several candles holding, and I took that thing short, and it just didn't work out. Took a little loss there, about $70. And then I took another long right here on a break and retest long idea above this, and right here I should have gotten out. I thought about just killing this trade after it hit the first profit target, and at that point, had I done that, I would have been about green across the board. I had a slip fill in one of the trades. I think it was this loss. The reason that some of these are not the same dollar amount is because it didn't fill all the accounts for some reason. So not every account got traded. So at that point, had I killed that trade, and we were kind of pushing up against this 60/50 on ES, but we couldn't break out. And it went through my mind to just kill it, and I didn't. And I said, well, worst case scenario, I get a break even trade. I want this move to happen, and it just didn't. And I got stopped out there for a break-even loss, which is not a big deal. The problem is, during this pullback and the way it started to hold here, it was holding above this area, and I felt like, man, I think maybe it'll hold and it'll go. So at that same time, we had the same phenomenon occurring on NQ. We had pushed up, and we started to pull back, and this is that same pullback that I was in on this trade right here. And so I thought, man, I'm going to just take this, because if this thing goes, I got 2 trades going, and we can really turn this back into a green day. Well, this thing falls apart. I get out of there with a loss of I forget what this loss was, $100 loss right there. And this one here, break even. So now, instead of being at about green on the day, some of these would have been slightly red, some slightly green. Instead of being there, now we're red. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. I did take this short after we retested this on this failure. We retested that, took that short, and that was the second winning trade of the day, 120, nice little win. And this is just stupid, but on ES, as soon as I closed this trade, I noticed that ES was sitting below this 60/50 and decided to take this thing short. And I mean, immediately this candle killed me, and a full 150 loss there. Tried to reshort this breakdown again. This was a break under the 60/35. We tried, couldn't get there, and it finally stopped me out. And I let it go, and I shouldn't have. I should have killed the trade right here. Should have killed it somewhere here. I felt like, man, this thing is holding under this, 60/40. We're getting a flip. I'm just going to hold, even though my entry's here. This is going to come up like it's done for the last, 20 minutes or so, and we're going to get a rejection play. And it just simply didn't happen. And we ended up just with kind of a sideways day from that point, but the damage was done. And at that point, I'm like, I got to stop. I'm having a really, really bad day. I did take a long right here. Oh, this is on the evals. So that was the last trade of the day on my funded accounts, which was at about noon. So unfortunately, did some damage again. The trading up here really did me in, and just a tough day. It's just a tough day. And again, we're not going to be right all the time, but it's frustrating to me that I had the game plan correct here, had this game plan correct, and just didn't allow this trade to work enough and actually get the move that I really wanted. I had the direction right, had the trade right, just mismanaged it, and that really, really cost me. So a couple things. The winning trade, we could have taken that one trade and walked away and had a really nice trading day. Number 2 is not managing this, and that just led to more red, and we ended up with a pretty bad day. So, and then to add insult to injury, like we just looked at there, for some reason Tradeify is not populating. But on the trade, I took this trade long with 10 micros, basically a mini, but taking 10 micros. I have traded that way with my funded accounts, and it has worked out very, very well. This one, unfortunately, just simply dumped and killed it, out for $300 loss. And then this one here, I shorted, and as we got to this move back down, I was seeing this break of this little trend line, shorted this, complete failure, and again, just got wrecked, $400 loss on that trade there. So that's really what ended up taking these accounts down. Basically, we're down 1,000 to 1,100. It varies a little bit on those as well. So that's a problem. That's a bummer. I hate that. I mean, we can come back from it, but we definitely dug ourselves a hole. We got some drawdown left, but boy, from the position I was in yesterday to where I'm at today on those evals, that's a bit demoralizing. I'm not as worried about these. I'm not as worried about my funded accounts. I can get those back. It's ironic. It seems like every time I get this account up to about 51.5, I find a way to have a red day. So I wasn't thinking about that this morning, but that is certainly what happened. So, you know, again, we're having a solid month. You know, I hate being red here, but I need to fix this. And you know, as far as the funded accounts go, like here, I mean, we're down about $130 per account this week. So it's not like we've had a big loss. I mean, we had a couple nice days this week. Actually had a small day on Monday and had a nice day yesterday. And so, you know, today we gave all of that back and then a little bit more, but as a whole, we're not down that far. If we can have a decent day tomorrow, we can end the week on a green note. And that also would mean we would be green on the month. And so we can keep marching on the funded accounts. So anyway, try to take some lessons from today and really be very, very careful tomorrow on how we trade. I think, you know, the big thing today, I was really, after this thing started to sell off, I was looking for this to fall apart, and I just misread this whole thing, and this has been a non-trade area. I mean, really, the move happened this morning, and that was it. So there we have it. That's the long and the short of today. No pun intended, but it is what it is. So we move on. Tomorrow's a new day. So again, thanks for following along. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for using my code on evals. Those of you that do, appreciate that. Thanks for following along. And again, let's try to get to 400 subs. We're still sitting at just under. So if you follow along and aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's just a little mental milestone I'd love to see. So anyway, thanks again. Appreciate y'all. Hope you had a better day than I did today. And we'll catch up with you on the next one. Take care and so long.